What's up? What's up? There we go. What's up, y'all? What's up? Got my favorite folks in here. Keisha, I see you just jumped in. What's up? I see you got the beat, got the face, got everything. Let's go.
What's up for you?
I see you got that Chuck Styles behind you too.
Did that on purpose. Did the setup on purpose so you can see the Chuck Styles one of one.
Right. Look, when you know, right.
Exactly.
Right. Salute the Chuck, lacing people's flips, rehab properties, and the personal houses. Definitely appreciate you, Chuck. But Miss Maria, how are you?
Good. How are you? Happy to be on.
I appreciate you making the time for us. I am not gonna lie, I'm tired, but I'm so amped up, man. The day was crazy.
Yeah, I'm over here sipping on Pepsi because that's how tired I was. I'm so I'm not yawning into people's face.
It's all good. No, I had my Simply Lemonade before we got on, so I'm back. I'm back. So, you know, but definitely y'all share this out. You guys don't want to miss this one tonight. Sharia is one of the agents in the game that's been in the game, killing it, moving very humbly on the agent side and the investor side. Is a full-time agent, also a mom. Are you a wife too? I never asked. Are you a wife too?
Yeah.
All right, but nonetheless, still a dope person, dope mom, and you're leading the way for your family and for the ladies out there, because we always get that question. Well, how can I do real estate? I'm a lady. They gonna walk all over me. Nah, it's a lot of ladies. For real, the ladies is the ones making it happen in the front of the scenes and behind the scene in this real estate game.
We do have to be careful though, because that's one of the challenges that I found coming into this industry, not so much on the regular real estate side, but on the investor side and on the managing my own project side. Every now and again, I get the feeling like you trying to play me because you think I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm a female, or you trying to disrespect my position as running this whole show because not only am I a female, but I'm a Black woman. So I definitely have found that to be on my list of challenges with this aspect, is getting contractors and, you know, people to understand that you actually, in fact, work for me. You know what I'm saying? This is my ish right here. So you work for me and
Right.
you need to respect me accordingly. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I have found that to be like one of my struggles, is to, you know, is getting the respect that's owed to me on my own job site. Like, this is my job site.
Okay.
I'm here.
So are you using the same contractors, or are you kind of like putting pieces together, different projects, different situations?
So for the core group, I try to keep the same guys because I got blessed on my very first project with guys that did a good job. They were fast, they were clean, their prices were good. Like, I didn't have any issues with them. So I like the work that they do, and I feel like I can trust them. So I use them almost on everything.
Okay.
Where the issues is some of the other skilled trades. Like, so those guys are my finishers. They are kind of like my jacks of all trades. Where I run into issues is on the skilled trades, when I need roofers or HVAC. Like, I'm going through a roofing issue right now. Like,
all you got to do is ask. I got you. As soon as we get off, when I send my guys, no more problems.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I need right now. That's what I need. But when I need sheetrockers, like demo guys, like when I have to step outside the family is where I run into issues, and where I have seen that it definitely holds my projects up, because like, people try to get over. Even being an experienced investor, I run into the same issues as some rookies do, where somebody will start the job and then they won't finish it, or they'll, you know, tell me they coming on Monday, and then Monday coming, I don't see or hear from them again. So every time I have to find somebody new, these are the issues that I run into. And right now I'm having a roofing issue.
All right, so roofer not an issue no more. I got you. I'm telling you, I got you.
Right.
KCS Plumbing just said, "Yo, for your plumbers, hit me up." He said, me and KCS got to have a talk to him. Me and him just had a conversation about his numbers, man. I wasn't digging his numbers.
I mean, I really got a nice chance to talk to him at one of your ride-alongs. I mean, I might hit him up. Plumbing is not normally one of my issues. I don't.
That's great. He definitely does great work.
That's good to hear. And I'm like, he had a nice vibe on the ride-along and a nice chat. So I definitely will hit him up, especially, you know, should I be in the need. But yeah, I'm not normally in the need of plumbers. I'm pretty cool when it comes to, you know, electrical work and electricians and stuff like that. And my HVAC guy, which I thought he tried to play me. HVAC guy last week, I was like, yo, I'm about to start this new project. I need you to just, you know, whatever. He was like, oh, sure, I just want to let you know the price went up. I'm like, bro, what? He was like, oh, it's another $1,000. I was like, first of all, how you going to hit me with $1,000 price increase overnight? All materials, that and the third. So I'm like, yeah, press pause on that. And I started calling around. Like, I called Mr. Monopoly. I called Deals and Heels. I called a few people like, yo, how much do you pay for HVAC? Lo and behold, even with his $1,000 price increase, I'm still priced. So I'm gonna go ahead and run him his extra and keep it moving.
But there's nothing wrong with double checking and triple checking, because you be like, sometimes the way to know, you said, like, really because of COVID, prices have changed mid project or right at the end. So it's like, yo, you at this point, that's like, I completely feel your pain.
Correct. Because I budgeted one way, and you slide extra stacks in the situation, that'll put the budget up. Like, that's not no extra $50 for a light. Is a whole, you know, that's a whole problem. And that's after my pockets already got ran on lumber tripling and this, that, and the third. And now we got to run all around town because, you know, I got to go to Billows to get components because they don't have it no place else. So, like, the game is definitely changing. And we 100% got caught out there mid-project on a few different things when coronavirus hit, and we just either didn't have access to supplies the way that we used to, or the prices just went something crazy. Like,
I think it's a little bit of both, because, you know, they said some of the shipments ain't been coming and the prices went crazy. But real quick, right, before we go too deep into the game, right, let's start out with, how'd you get into real estate? Like, what got you to the path of real estate?
So, oddly enough, I'm a 70s baby. I'm an old head. When I was younger, we had something called magazines. We didn't sit on our phones because we didn't have cell phones when I was a little kid. We had magazines. So my mom had a couple, subscriptions for me, and she had a couple subscriptions for her. And one of the subscriptions that she had was Black Enterprise magazine. Mm-hmm. So we used to keep a little basket in the bathroom next to the toilet. So you handle your business, you get a magazine, right? So I'm always flipping through the magazines. I got finished with whatever she had for me, little 17 or whatever. I'm flipping through Black Enterprise, and I read an article about a dude who had dropped out of school in the 8th grade. He had, family issues. He had to get a job to support his family straight, from 8th grade. Turned his hustle and got an investment property, made it a rental. It was a duplex. From that point forward, kept. He was at the point of the writing of the article, he was like 30-something years old with over 100 units. Right. And the more I read into the article, the more that was appealing to me. So I started high school in the back of my mind thinking, yeah, this is all, fun and games. I'm going to go ahead to college and get this accounting degree, but what I really want to do is invest in real estate. So I was young with a desire to invest in real estate. So I finished college and ended up working at a mortgage company. I mean, I had a couple jobs along the way, but I ended up working at a mortgage company. So the bulk of my employment history is in mortgages. I was a loan processor on the phone with a realtor, a terrible transaction that we were working on. Terrible. got it to the closing table. The realtor called me. She was like, "Hey, Shreya, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions?" I said, "Yeah, go for it." She was like, "You closed this loan for me. How much did you make?" I said, $50. That's what we got, a salary plus $50 bonus for every loan we closed.
50?
50, 50. She was like, "Shreya, I just made $12,000 and it wouldn't have got to the table if it wasn't for you." She
Oh,
was like, "Quit that job today and become a realtor."
she owe you some money.
She did. I mean, she did break me off a little something, but she was like, "Quit your job and become a realtor." And it was probably, I want to say maybe about a year after that, that's exactly what I did. Like it planted the seed that, well, it re-sparked the seed that was already planted in my youth. And I just was like, let me jump out there and do it.
Okay.
So I from my history in mortgages to becoming a realtor.
Nice. So you already had the idea, which is great, cool, but then you took the job route of getting in the game just to get your feet wet, and then through networking, it turned into another situation.
Correct. So it actually, I became a realtor almost on the humbug. So when I had that conversation with her, it was definitely something that I was considering, but I got a household and bills to pay. So I was comfortable with my 9 to 5. So it was kind of like I was limiting myself with my comfort level. I went to work one day and my boss said something real sideways, like real sideways, that was going to make me remember my youth at 22nd and Allegheny, right? She was really trying to bring more Philly out of me. And then I'm thinking to myself, like, I can't be catching charges
Right.
and have,
It must have been disrespectful then.
oh, it was extremely, it was so disrespectful. It was in a group meeting. It was so disrespectful in the presence of others that when she said it, my phone started blowing up with everybody else that was sitting in the meeting texting me like, "Yo, please don't jump across the table and like snatch her up. Like let's take a walk outside." Like it was just crazy. So I quit. I was like, I thought about it for about a good 10 minutes and I was like, "Yo, I'm never coming back to this place again. I'm done." So I'm unemployed at this point. I had quit my job, no job.
You quit on the spot, or you did a 2-week notice?
I quit on the spot.
Woo!
Yes, I quit on the spot. And someone else who was in that meeting had reported her for what she said. So the company ended up paying me out the 2 weeks. And like the company called me back to apologize. They offered me different positions, different departments. I was like, But they paid me out because someone else had reported her. She ended up getting fired, not behind that specific incident, but
the other stuff, right? So,
right.
But
so I quit my job. I'm at home with no job. Like, I'm like, all right, let me figure out what I'm gonna do in my life. So I got no job. The kids are in school, whatever. I'm like, oh, let me go to Starbucks. So this is what people with no job do. So I'm on the way to Starbucks, and there was a truck stopped in the middle of the street. So I had to stop. And right next to me where I stopped was real estate school. So I wrote down the window that people were outside talking. So I'm asking them questions from the car. I ended up pulling over, this, that, and the third, chit chat. And lo and behold, it was the owner that was standing out there.
Associates?
Huh?
Was this Polly and Associates?
No, the real estate school of Philadelphia, right on Frankfurt Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah, so the owner was standing there. I didn't even know that. So he was like, "Listen, why don't you just stop by tomorrow, sit in on a class, see how you feel. I'm not going to charge you for it. If it's a go, it's a go. We'll work it out later." Fast forward, I want to say 4 weeks later, I was a realtor.
Which is amazing. So, but let's talk about that moment though. So you know how it's like, you want to do something, but you're trying to wait for that perfect moment.
Right.
Then you had the situation at a job that forced you to choose.
Correct.
Yourself or the paycheck. And
Correct.
worth the paycheck over yourself. And in that moment, you chose yourself. And how many years ago was that?
Maybe 6 or 7 years ago.
So you chose yourself 6 or 7 years ago, but you was sitting on the dream. How long were you at that job?
Oh my God. In the field, I'm gonna say I probably was in the field for 15 plus, give or take, years.
So those 15 years, right? you knew you wanted to do it, but like I feel like, you know how we had them conversations with ourselves, like when, or even the conversation of what if this goes wrong. And then, I don't know your circle, but sometimes it's hard to express those feelings, to say like, yo, I could do this. And then crazy, like you said, just that quick, the lady pissed you off, you quit, 4 weeks later you did it. Like imagine if you'd have used them 4 weeks 4 years ago.
4 years ago, 14 years ago, like the whole thing happened so fast, it was like, you know, for me, I believe that the Lord had spoke to me that day and told me not to jump across the table. You know, I was like I had to take a couple deep breaths. You know? So I don't regret the years that I spent, because one, it has definitely increased my value and my skill set as a realtor, because
Sure.
I mean, as anybody could show you a house, but if you can't get a deal approved, like what we doing here? Right. So it definitely gave me a different perspective on being a realtor, because I'm coming into real estate with a heavy mortgage background. So I can sit down with any client and figure out a way on how we're going to get this loan approved. Like, how are we going to get you into this? How are we going to get these keys in your hand? I can show you the house. That's cool, no problem. But how am I going to make this your house?
Right. No, so
that's the background that 14, 15 years gave me. But to your point, I didn't need those 14, 15 years. Should have started on my aspiration sooner. And maybe that's what happened that day. Maybe the Lord told that woman to act up to give me the call that I needed to, you know, spark a fire under me to do what it was that I wanted to do.
Right. Nah, so I wasn't saying it in a negative way. I just was saying like, yo, when you think about it per se, but I'm also saying the fact that you still use that foundation, because I feel like some people talk about college in a negative way, even though you ended up in real estate doing all this other stuff. And I'm like, no, it's those experience in that time you spent. It really gives the foundation for what you're doing now, good, bad, or indifferent, because all of us have experienced that those skill sets transform to other things. We just don't know how we're going to use them till we get there.
Correct. I do have a college degree. I do see the both sides of the debate on the value of college, and you'll never get me to speak negatively about post-secondary education, because I do believe that there is a heavy value in going to college. What I don't believe in is a heavy value in having $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 worth of student loans.
Right.
And then you decide like you want to open a wilderness store. Like, I do not believe it's that, but I do believe that there is value in post-secondary education. I just feel like you need to be like a little bit more intentional with your thought processes. And to a certain extent, maybe at 17, 18 years old, you're not ready to make that decision. Like, it might not be the right time. But I do feel like people need to, like, and we could have a whole nother discussion about this another day, but I do like be more intentional with your decision and think about your future and your outcome. And I also believe that, you know, everything put me in line, and these were the steps that it took to get me to where I'm at today.
Right. So going through your background and where you are today, so you've been a realtor for 7 years?
Either 6 or 7 years. I renewed 3 times, and we renew every 2 years? So it's at least 6 years, because we renew every 2. Right.
All right. So a realtor, and how long you been how long did it take you till you became an investor as well?
So I was probably, what did that say? I've been an investor, I want to say, for like 3 years. Okay. So yeah, so like 3 years I've been an investor. So it took me a couple years as a realtor to then jump out there and become an investor. And that was kind of like also on some, like, the Lord put that truck in my way to just stop and talk to the real estate school. Becoming an investor was almost the same thing, where like I just jumped out there. Like, I just took a step out on faith and bought a house, having no idea what I was doing. no formalized or informalized training or real estate investing. I mean, obviously, I know a little bit with the mortgage background and with being a realtor, but I didn't know anything about a rehab budget or this or that, investors, this. I didn't know anything about anything like that. I learned how to become an investor with my feet to the fire. Like I learned on the job how to become a real estate investor.
Okay. So your first deal as an investor, what did that look like? So you were doing fix and flip or buy and hold?
Fix and flip.
Okay. And how'd that work out for you on your first one? Were you successful? Was it easy? Was it hard?
It was extremely successful. It was so successful that it was almost scary. Like I stumbled into the deal to start out with. So at my broker, we used to send out an email, like a coming soon listing email, which I don't know if that's still allowed or not. But so in the office, we just send out an inner office message. Hey guys, just want to let you know I have a listing coming up at 123 Main Street. So I happened to be in the office. This email came out. The listing agent was 2 doors down. So I was like, you know what? When I looked at it and saw the address and saw the price, I was like, wait a minute, might be might. So I went to talk to her and she was like, I didn't even put it on the lock, but I have the keys if you want to just swing by and take a look. So I, went, took a look, never gave her back the key. So I never gave her back the key. So what I did was she told me to put the key in her office mailbox when I was done. I put it purposefully in the wrong mailbox. So she did. Yeah. So okay. So I went and looked at the house and wrote an offer right away. Again, I don't have no idea what I'm doing, what I'm looking at, what's right, what's wrong, whatever. So I put the key in the wrong mailbox, wrote the offer, ran across the street to the bank, got the EMD check, and what I put in her mailbox instead of her key was my full price offer plus an EMD check.
Let's go.
Yes. So she reached out to me and I finally ended up giving her back the key. And then she got another offer, but she accepted mine. Like our two offers were the same. She accepted mine because, and this is for all the realtors that are out there, the reason why she accepted my offer is because when I wrote her the offer, I gave her all the necessary paperwork in one shot. I did not do a half-assed, just let me give you the agreement to sell. I gave her the agreement to sell, the buyer's financials, the proof of funds, bank statements, deposit money note. I gave her a full package when I wrote the offer as well as the check. So she told me she got an identical offer. And the reason why she was accepting mine is because immediately when she opened up my package, it was everything that she needed. So she accepted my offer and we settled, I want to say maybe like 2-3 weeks later, we settled. So now I own a house. Now what am I going to do? So I had probably a year prior went to one of the fortune builders, like the free events that they have around tax time. Like, so I went to one of those with Dan Merrill.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
To one of those, and they were like, well, you got to interview 3 contractors. So I was like, all right, well, let's start there. So I had called for 3 different contractors to come out. And the first guy that came out, he was, I feel like one of those talking down to me woman type. I'm like, all right, whatever. The second one that came out was a referral from another guy in the office. So I happened to be talking to another one of the investors in the office, telling him what I did. Like I just took a step out on faith. Right. And these guys came out and he was like, yo, is that the contractor from so-and-so? I was like, yeah. He was like, if they agree to work for you, you don't need any other contractors. Just accept that whatever price they quote you, that's what the answer is. And those are my guys now, and they've been working for me ever since.
That's dope. So from your first project to now, are you still hitting home runs, or are the deals slightly changing?
The deals are slightly changing. I definitely have hit a few home runs in my time. Like that wasn't the one and only. You know what I'm saying? Like your girl got bills to pay. So cheap. I definitely hit a couple good ones. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I gotta speak in my truth. I've had, Probably just right now, one that is not so much a home run. It might be looking like a strikeout.
Right. Some of them we break even and move on to the next.
And move on to the next. And that's what I'm saying. Like, all of them are not going to be, a pure victory. But even in the ones that are not a financial victory, what this project was for me was a learning lesson. And it gave me some more experience where I need to sharpen my tool shed.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes them rehabs, that take over. I say every house got its own personality. Some of them is good, some of them is bad. But even in that, can we touch on the part about, you stepping out on faith and being patient in your growth, because, having bills and having children that you're responsible for, that can be, very nerve-wracking to say the least. So, how did you persevere, or what did you do to try to set yourself up to get through that gap period?
So luckily for me, when I quit my job with no notice, I was actually sitting on a nice amount of savings. So I knew that I could still pay my bills and sustain my life because I had a nice little bit of money saved. And then when I became an investor, it was, I don't know about you, but normally for me, the period of time from like January to June, to May, like tax time, like that's when I do the most of my work. So when I bought my first property, it was in April. So I was actually coming out of like probably the biggest month of my career, because I a lot of clients that as soon as they get their tax refund, they want to buy a house. So I had a huge chunk of money saved basically at that time too, just because of how the nature of my work typically went. Right. So normally for me, I have a big really second quarter. I normally have a big second quarter. I chill, spend time with the kids over the summer, and then the end of the year usually is pretty slow for me. And then I ramp up again for first and second quarter. So this was second quarter. So I had already had like a big month, and then the next month was a big month. And then I'm like record breaking month. So I had like a little bit of a cushion to fall back on during this investment experiment.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you were comfortable enough to jump out on that faith because in that process, you were always working towards the goal and had savings lined up.
Correct. So I didn't really slow down with my real estate business, like my individual sale business. I didn't really slow down with that until I had like 3-4 properties, rolling, because to be honest with you, this fix and flip, this rehab life, this is not for the faint at heart. This is not like, oh, let me pop in once and then roll out. Like this rehab life, whether you want to hold or flip, it can take over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is actually a full-time job. Like my phone will start ringing at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it could be 11 o'clock at night and I'm still getting messages, or I'm still running into issues that need to be resolved.
But give them some more detail to that. The rehabs are a full-time job, because like you just said, when I first got into the rehab game, I was all hype and happy. And then I realized I'm not tending to none of my clients or what my other business is, because I'm too busy chasing contractors, materials, and trying to manage something, which one showed me I needed a better general contractor, because if your general contractor is tight, which I now have, so salute to my guy, you don't necessarily have to be on a job site as much. You still need to be there, but not as much. Because in the rehab game, you really don't make the money if the house ain't finished.
Correct.
And then for some of those guys I know, you'll hear people say it all the time, like, yo, I get paid on the rehab, I'm my own GC. One, your quality of work is probably not as good. Mm-hmm. Two, if something goes wrong, you now have to reach back in your pocket and pay for those mishaps. So I'd rather put the money in the property or the project until the end and let it pay for itself. And if there's something left over, then I pay myself. Correct. But I go into it saying, hey, I'm making 15 grand from the rip. That's just me. Which is why, again, I'd rather have the purchase price be proper so I can hire the right team Let me sell houses and make my day-to-day money, and let the contractors that make money doing construction do what they do. And
Right.
then give me the big bag on the back end.
So for me, it was a good time financially and just in my life to be able to slow down on my day-to-day stuff and focus more on these rehabs. Plus, like I said, I didn't know what I was doing, so I needed to spend that time to focus so I could learn, right? So I did definitely slow down in my real estate business, like my regular real estate business.
Right.
And I spent about probably like 2 years like ramping up my investment business and learning hands-on on the site. And no, I don't have to go on site every day. Like the guys that work for me, like my everyday guys, I definitely trust them on my job sites. Like I don't have any issues with the work that they do on my sites when I'm not there. Matter of fact, they get more work done when I'm not there. Like when they'll be the first to say, when I'm there, I get on their nerves. Like
why this like this, or what's this? What's different? Like you're an unfinished person didn't come through.
Right. Part of it is me wanting to have like a little bit better understanding about what's happening, like education process for me. But part of it is me not being able to fully relinquish the control to someone else. And then my projects, I also do all the design myself too. So I do. Would you say?
Which are beautiful. I saw your last one. Very, very nice.
Thank you. So I do my kitchen designs. Like I do all of that myself. And sometimes you gotta let the project speak to you. That talk to Chuck about that. Like he get mad at me because I'm like, let the house speak to me. He's like, no. So because I like to get creative with it too. So you've seen in my projects, like I throw some type of design feature, be it a wall or something that kind of will try to set it out, set it
apart.
Set it apart. I did in that last one. I kind of went all out. I did the custom fence. I did the wall. So I designed all that myself. So that adds like another hands-on feature for me. Plus with my finishes, I pick my finishes by hand myself as well. So it doesn't have to be, you don't have to do it that way, but that's the way that I prefer. I prefer to control over the aesthetic of the finished product, and I prefer the control over knowing what's going on in my project.
I'm gonna have to get you to walk through one of my projects because I definitely be needing a female's touch and somebody I know that got some style. So I'm gonna have to get you because I ain't gonna lie, that part makes my head hurt. I just be like, if it's bronze, get it, or if it's the stainless steel, get it. We done. Let's go.
No, I'm like me and Keisha, we be in floor and decor all day, like picking out 5 different tiles. Like, well, how about this one with this one and this and that? Like, I just send you screenshot of our text messages from
so y'all be having meetups at the floor and decor at Home Depot.
Yes, the floor decor in Jersey, the floor decor in Mount Laurel, that's the spot. It's Club Floor and Decor. It'll be 2:00 in the morning. She might text me on some, what you think about this color combination? Like, so we, let the creative sparks flow. But again, like for me, it's not relinquishing the control, which I got to work on that a little bit. But I do enjoy the creative process of the renovation as well. Like that's the fun part to me, to get to create and to get to step back when it's done and be like, wow, I did this.
Okay. So for you now, got the agent business. So are you taking on more clients to help purchase homes and sell homes?
I am. Like, I'm definitely not going hard the way that I used to, like heavy with the marketing and this and that. I am most of my clients now are just like strictly referrals. So I do, honestly, like I enjoy being a realtor. I enjoy being a buyer's agent. Like I love my clients to pieces. Like I see a couple of my clients on here now. Like
shouting you out.
Yeah, I see a couple of my clients on here now. Like I go hard for my clients and I really enjoy what I do for them. So I am taking, but I'm not trying to be like
top agent.
Yeah, like Mariah, we just got the email that she hit the, agent of the month. Nah, I don't have enough time in my day
Right.
to do all of that. But I just got a new client referral yesterday from a client that I sold her a house almost 2 years ago. Like she's still like, oh my gosh, Shreya, thank you so much. Like me and my family are so grateful to you and this and the third. And you know, she's sending her people to me and they're calling me. They're like, oh, you sold my cousin her house. And I'm like, who, what? And but yeah, so no, I do definitely still take new clients. And I'm starting to transition into taking on new investors who are trying to learn the ropes as well.
Okay. So does that mean we're going to get you at the investment blueprint teaching and speaking next year?
It's a possibility because what I'm going to do, what I decided to do is for the next project that I start, I'm going to allow a small group, 1 to 3 people, like nothing more than 3, to shadow me throughout the project. So you're going to see like the hands-on that I'm talking about. Why I really, spend more time on my projects than need be is to learn what's going on. I'm going to allow a couple people to take that journey with me and they can learn as well.
That's what's up. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I just had a question in my head. It just literally slipped my mind. The rehabs, the agent, investment blueprint.
Investment blueprint is always a good time.
So yes, investment blueprint, good time. I don't know. It slipped. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. I got it now. Can you talk about how you manage your day of home life business? Because I feel like no matter what, it's a struggle for all of us entrepreneurs or all of us people that are inspiring to be successful. So it's like, how are you managing it? And maybe, what are some of your daily habits that help you be successful for each day?
So I'm probably not the best to give this type of advice because I'm still trying to, get there myself.
Work in progress. That's nothing wrong with that.
I would say that I find myself the most focused in the early morning hours. So people always like clown me, like you'll see me responding to you at 4 or 5 in the morning or making a comment at that time of the morning because that's when I'm the most focused on like my thoughts and what has to go on for the day.
Right.
I always joke with, anybody that knows me, my clients, friends and family, whatever, my phone goes on do not disturb at 9 o'clock. Like from 9 to 9, I'm on do not disturb. If I happen to see the message, I might respond to it, but I really had to limit the time that the phone is ringing because I would really just want to throw it off a bridge. So to give myself that quiet time from the phone or when I wanted to be on the phone, that was something that was helpful. But so for me personally, I guess you could say I'm a morning person because I do wake up early naturally, like without an alarm clock, I wake up early and I want stuff done early in the morning. Like I will be at Home Depot at 6 o'clock in the morning. I would be there at 5 if they opened earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to get stuff done early in the morning and then have the rest of my day because that's why I say I don't know if I'm the best person to answer this question. Sometimes I feel like the day gets away from me. It's like the best laid plans of mice and men. Like I'll have an idea of what my day is going to look like, and then it just doesn't.
Right. Now, so I feel like when you're executing, like literally, like you said, I get up early, I'll be moving because you'll be hitting on all cylinders. It's like between 11 and 1 o'clock, and somehow it just skips to 3 o'clock.
Exactly. Like when you hit me at like 6 o'clock in the morning one day, right? And I was already out the house, like I was already in the streets. You know what I'm saying? That's the best time to catch me because that's when I'm most like, clear-headed and focused or whatever. But yeah, like then the bewitching hour hits and then it's like 3 o'clock. Then it's like, damn, it's 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like once you pass like the morning hours, the day is like that. And then I'm definitely working with the guys that work for me about not letting them control my day. Like that's some conversation that I had with some other people, like trying to get them more so organized with what they need from me so that they don't control my day. Because my guys are good for a text message, which they just text me while we've been talking, a text message on some, oh, well, we need X, Y, and Z. All right, bro, it's 9 o'clock at night. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't want to mention this to me earlier. Like, you didn't want to tell me before now that this is what you needed, or they'll be on site and run into an issue. And so if they call for me to come to the site, I know it's a big problem. Like, I know there's nothing good coming from that conversation if they specifically call for me to come to them. But they will send me messages usually as they're walking out the door. So it'll be like 6 or 7 o'clock to tell me that they need something for the next day. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm still working on my process flow with trying to get them a little bit more streamlined, which there are some things that we've done recently that have been helpful, but I'm still working on that aspect of making them a little bit more independent.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So now for you, what are you hoping to accomplish in 2022?
In 2022, I definitely want to expand on my holdings. Like, I don't want to sell what I renovate. I want to keep it. I want to hold on to more that I can. And I want to like teach a little bit more. Like, I definitely want to share my experience and my knowledges and help others to learn from my mistakes. Because, like I said, I believe in people walking in their truth, and I'm definitely walking in mine. I'll tell you, like, everything wasn't perfect along the way. So I want to help people learn from those mistakes, but more so just get a little bit more streamlined with the team, with the outsiders, like I said, the roofers, the HR, like, get those people connected, that I'm comfortable with them too. And then the sky is the limit. Like, ultimately, I think I told you this, my goal, I want apartment complexes. Like, I don't want small units. Like, I aspire to, oh yeah, I got that complex of so-and-so, it's 100 units. Like, that's what I wanted. So I could just be sitting on the beach, waiting for my phone to say your rent has been deposited. Like, I'm not trying to do like these 1-2 projects at a time. Like, I want massive development. My hard money lender, which a couple people that know me, I've told them this story. Hey, Joanna, a couple people that know me, I told you this story. My hard money lender, he started in the game. He was a lawyer, and he decided he didn't want to be a lawyer anymore. So he bought an apartment complex in Connecticut. He paid $400,000 cash for it, right? It was run down, Section 8, this, that, and the third, but not in good condition. So as the leases were up, he didn't renew anybody's lease. He terminated at the end of the lease, and he renovated each unit as the people moved out for the turnover. And his renovations turned it into luxury apartments. Took him 18 months. And at the end of the 18 months, the whole complex was renovated, and it appraised for $7 million.
How many years ago? Because I know them prices.
This story was probably 10 years ago.
Right. All right. So he probably, now you got to pay $2 million to get it, put the money in it, but still, if it's worth $7 million, that's still.
He did a cash out refi, right? That money out and became a hard money lender.
So now his money is always making money. And
right. So he collected mad rent because this is luxury apartments now, right? The interest that he paying on his loan is next to nothing. And he loans the money out at damn near 3 times the rate of the interest that he's paying on the money.
Right. I'm with Keith. Keith said, nigga, yo.
Exactly. So he's collecting rent on the asset. He's earning interest on the money that he borrowed.
How is your hard money lender? How is he? You like the terms?
So this is what I tell people about hard money lenders. Yeah, they're expensive, but at the end of the day, if your project makes sense, if your numbers make sense, don't worry about what somebody else is putting in their pocket. Worry about the budget and the profit on your project.
Okay.
Always have an exit strategy, always have a plan B. And I always tell people, like, when I look at a project to renovate, if I'm gonna fix it, especially if I'm gonna do a fix and flip, to me, I always look at, all right, so at the end of the day, what would I have to list this property for to make it sell in a day? And if that number, I mean, before this crazy market, because anything is selling a day now, if that number is a number that's going to pay off all my expenses in a day, then I'm cool. So that's why I would say, if I have to have a fire sale on this project, what would I have to do to get rid of it the minute it hits the market to make sure I'm good? What would I have to rent this for? Because he always asks me, like, well, if the numbers don't come in, what you going to do? Oh, well, I'm going to rent it. What would I have to rent this for to be able to cover my mortgage payments?
Right.
So I always look for multiple exit strategies when you have a hard money loan. But ultimately, like I said, I don't look at hard money lenders as the end all and be all, or as the final stop, because it's always short term money. So right. when I budget for my project, I budget the cost of his money as well. So, like I said, he's not the cheapest. It's just, for me, he's easy to work with for me. Like, right. I did one deal with him, and he'll probably hate me for telling this story because he's not going to do this again. But I got a phone call from a wholesaler at like 11 o'clock in the morning, and I had just closed not too long ago on a deal with him. So he was like, yo, Sharia, this so-and-so, what's going on, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. He was like, well, I'm at the title company. I got this deal, and the buyer just flaked. I was like, what happened? So he's telling me the particulars. He's like, yo, I had it under contract with them for X, but if you want it, I'll give it to you for Y, but we got to move right away. I was like, what you mean by right away? He was like, today. I'm like, so I called up the hard money dude, and I was like, yo, let me tell you what just happened. So I'm telling him the story, break down the numbers. Long story short, he wired the money to the title company by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So a phone call from at 11 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon became a property that I owned. He wired the money. We ain't signed no paperwork. He was just like, yo, Shreya, I'm going to send you this money. Just get my paperwork together, before the end of the week. So he wired the money straight based on me giving him a property address and my estimate of what it was going to take to get done. With sight unseen, I hadn't even seen the house. And what I thought the ARV was going to be. So that was another one of those home runs, because that was a house that I think I paid $60 for it, put like $40 into it, and sold it for $235, something like that. Yeah.
Wait, so I feel like that's also just a testament to your character that he wired that money and the rapport that you did with him. So it's not like you only did one deal with him. Like, y'all been dug in, you're doing your thing. So I'm saying that, again, shows in this business, if you want to be successful, you need relationships. And you're building relationships. That's why you're able to maneuver when opportunity arrives. You like, man, just give me a minute. It's a phone call.
Yeah.
Call you. It's one phone call away, Sharia. Like, yo, like, it's a phone call.
That's what happened. That's how it went. It was just a phone call. But that's a very important point when it comes to real estate investing. And it's something that I always comment on when you put up the post about your network. I always comment, your net worth is your net worth. Like, it's so important to make these relationships and make these connections and build this rapport, because he's the only person that I know that was going to run me $100,000 in 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I know A-Lee is getting up there like, what Tuesday I'm about to be got. No, A-Lee, I need 100 racks.
Don't put that on me. Not yet. One day.
It's going to be, one day we're going to be sitting around laughing and joking about it. Like, just spending 100 racks like it ain't nothing. But at that time in my situation, I needed 100 racks, and I needed it by the end of business, and I picked up the phone. That's the only call that I made. The phone call was probably about 5 minutes long, and it turned into a very profitable situation for me. So I tell people, because someone had asked me, like, why do I continue to go to, you know, these different type of events when I'm already an experienced investor? First of all, you can always learn something new. This is actually a conversation me and you had a couple of weeks ago. But more importantly than that, it's not always about what I'm learning. It's more important about who am I meeting? Like, who am I talking to? Who am I connecting with? Who am I building relationships with? Because being in this room, it could be one person in that room out of 150 people. It could be one person that's able to change my situation into something else. You know what I'm saying? It could be one connection. It could be one person that says something that resonates, that makes me think, you know, when the Lord put a tractor trailer in my way, or a crazy boss that come out her mouth sideways, that, oh, damn, like, remember when Anthony Lee had said such and such? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why these rooms are so important. Not necessarily like, oh, you know, learning how to do this or learning how to do that. It's just important to be in the room. You know what I'm saying?
So the information I always say now and what I know now is really easy. But the hard part is finding the right relationships that make the information make sense and easy. So,
Right.
you know, to break that down again, I can learn how to rehab a house, but if I don't got the right contractor, I'm a rehab because everybody don't do everything the same. And even today, you know what I did? I drove to Atlantic City today on a Thursday for a conference. Real estate conference. I started at 10 o'clock. I was there at 9:30 before the doors opened. And like, we had a goal of, my goal was twofold today. I wanted to meet somebody that would allow me to partner with them to make connections for referrals for hard money lending. And then I also needed funding for a project that I'm trying to take down now. So I was able to meet two people. I had potential funding for my projects. Dope, because the one lender I thought I already had before I went, he's like, he's giving me money tomorrow. He's like, I can't give you more money and you haven't already started the first project. I'm like, but I got another deal. You already got my
right. Nothing to do with this, right?
Right. He's like, but now we don't work like that. Let's build a rapport. Let's date. I'm like, dog, I don't know if you know me or not, but when I go all in, I'm all in. You know. But luckily I met somebody today and he's like, look, they were like, yo, we give 100% of the purchase price. Worst case scenario, we give you 90% of the purchase price and 100% of the rehab. At the event, I met one of the directors. He was like, and I told him about my deal. He was like, I'm going to have my assistant hit you up. The assistant hit me up by 2 o'clock. I'm waiting for the contract. I already did the application before we got on the live today. I did the application. But being in the room, making those connections, it always keeps you prepared for when opportunity arrives.
Correct. That's the important. I mean, obviously, there's lessons to be learned and there's good information to be, you know, disseminated. Obviously, there is definitely good information that's available, but like the connections that we make are priceless. And not only, you know, the connections of people that's going to help you get to the next level, something as simple as me complaining about a roofer and you about to hit me up, like those are the types of things that we need, you know, collectively as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, like it take a village. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it take a village. I'm strong and I'm be the first to admit, like, oh, I do it by myself. No, like, you need that connection from somebody else, or you need that, you know, that referral or something to help you move the project along.
Right. Nah. So you just gave me a dope idea. We gotta have like a pizza night, Chinese night with a couple of the real estate folks, and let's literally put like a yellow pages of the good contractors. Yo, here go my top 3 plumbers. Here go my top 3 electricians, my top 3 roofers. And we keep that in the group, in the circle. So like the contractors always get what they need, but then we always got the resources. But now they're vetted resources. Because we don't got to bump our heads like, yo, boy was bad. No, like, I know Sharia not going to give me nobody bad. I know Tracy not going to give me nobody bad. I know Lorenzo not going to give me nobody bad. So it's like, if we could link up and source it out, every house is going to be, you know. And then maybe I could get one of your dudes to give me one of your ideas in one of them kitchens so my house is sell real quick.
I told you that's all me. They do what I say. They like, if you gotta come up to my job sites one time, like while we working, like whatever crazy idea I come up with, they be like, "You want it, we make it." Like this is if you want it, we make it. Like they don't tell me no to anything. I be like, "Oh, can I do some? Yeah, if you want it, sure, we make it." Like they do not.
I sleep, and this is what I came up with.
Yeah, they do not care. Like I get on they. That's why they like it when I'm not there because I get on their nerves. Like one of the actually the John at Chuck's house, the wall that I made for his wife's office. Like I was still in like designing it while they were cutting the wood. So I'm like, hold it up that way. Let me see. Hold it up this way. Like he was like, yo, go online, pick a picture, text it to me, and I'ma build it. I'm like, no, I need the space.
I gotta feel it.
I gotta feel it. It has to. The space has to speak to me. I need to see, what the space is telling me. But yeah, so that's a phenomenal idea. I used to do cash and coffee before coronavirus hit, but then that got shut down. But some type of link up. We do it once a month or something. Where we can collaborate and, like you said, like yo, don't use so and so because he burned me, or this I recommend so and so. Like that was one of the joints at Cash and Coffee. How I got my iron guy. Like we all started talking about the custom railings, and we all kind of got burnt by the same contractor. So I'm like, well, who do you use? And then I got the connection, and I've been using that dude ever since. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. All right. Well, nah. So we're gonna talk about that. We definitely gonna set that up. So can you give us your top 3 books, whether they're real estate or non-real estate related? Just books that you appreciate that make you you.
So a book that I always enjoyed is Everything I Ever Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. So that's, I might eject the title a little bit, but if you Google something like that, that book teaches you about the fundamentals of interpersonal relationships. Like how do you treat people? How do you communicate with people? And it breaks it down on such a basic level that it shows you that these skills that you need in life today in dealing with people, you actually learned when you were a little kid, and just growing into adulthood, you kind of shove those lessons to the side, but you really need to like bring them back to the forefront. So that's always one of my go-tos. A book that I'm actually reading right now, I didn't finish it. It is, I'm gonna jack the title up again, but it's something along the lines of Never Meet in the Middle, like negotiate like your life depends on it. Mm-hmm. And it's written by an FBI negotiator explaining like
cheese.
Huh?
It's Never Split the Cheese. I know what you're talking about.
Not Never Split the Cheese, because that's on my. I'm going to work on that. I'll get the title for you, and I'll let you know the title because I'm looking at the cover of the book in my head. But it's Never Split the Difference. Negotiate like your life depends on it. And it's basically explaining how his.
I got it.
Yep, that's it. That's that.
I got that over there in my bookshelf. I just didn't open it.
You gotta open it, and you gotta get past the first, like, because it's dry in the beginning. But once you get like in the mid, and you gotta be able to extract your lessons from it, though. That's the thing. Like, you gotta be able to.
Okay. I might have to do Audible book. I can listen to that. I'm gonna do the Audible book.
The Audible, and then a third one. Let me think.
Or it could be a podcast preference. It don't got to be a book.
Third one. Oh, I'm drawing a blank on the third one.
It's all right. If you only got 2, you got 2. It's all right.
Those are my 2 then, yeah.
Okay. All right. So 2022, we're going to turn up on these houses. Then we moving towards the apartment buildings. Definitely hoping that you get one like your lender, so that thing refi for $7 million. You taking us back to the Flemings on that one.
Yo, if I could stroll and luck up on something like that, like y'all would not see or hear from the girl. Like I'm done. I'm retired. Like I'm done and over with the whole situation. Like I'm done. But yeah, that's definitely my goal. Looking into and also looking into leaving like the Philadelphia area with my investments, like again, because I'm, controlling. Like I like to be able to stroll up on my site, but our market is somewhat saturated. Like there's still good deals out there, especially if you know what you're doing. But it's other markets that are very profitable that we could tap into as well.
Okay. All right. So we might be taking a road trip.
Yeah, it was actually road trip was already in the works, and then coronavirus kind of messed up my whole situation. Like I've been looking at different areas already, and then kind of like hunkered down at home. But yeah, I'm looking at road trips because I don't want to manage my project. Like I just started pouring. I don't want to manage the project. Like I said, I want to be kind of hands off, just collecting. I want this to be passive income in the most passive way.
So that'll force you to be passive and learning to communicate and delegate because it's so far away.
Correct.
I like that. All right. Well, we definitely appreciate it. And definitely, like, again, salute to you. So doing amazing things. We've been connecting and meeting up, and you be being quiet. You be saying a little bit, then you go back. So it's like, we gotta get Sheree to tell us the whole story. Tell us the whole story. So, so I'm glad you was able to tell us that story. Well, all those stories, and definitely looking forward to, doing some more business in 2022. Is it anything else you want to let the people know that I might not have mentioned or asked?
No, I was just trying to scroll through to see if anybody had any questions because, I started in my stories. I wasn't paying attention too much. I was looking for Lorenzo because I always be heckling him when he live. I was looking for Lorenzo to see if he had any smart comments.
I think Lorenzo was in travel. He was on his way out of town.
Okay.
So if anybody got any questions for Rofer, I mean, I'm fine. I got like 5 minutes. If anybody want to jump up, we could bring you in the chat. And if you want to ask me or Sharia a question, we could do it. Let me see if I see any. I don't see no. Let me see if anybody in here. Great.
Let me see. Is that? Hold on. I feel like I got that same piece. Hold on 1 second. Oh no.
She went to check her artwork.
Yes.
Yours is, I think, is the original one, and mine was the remake. Cause see how ours is slightly different.
No, mine is the original.
Yours is the original. But yeah, that's definitely a Chuck Styles piece. One of the questions was, are you able to share who your lender is? You can say yes, you can say no.
So,
mind you, I got my pen and paper if you say yes.
So I'm gonna say yes and no. What I am willing to share, like he's not like my finishers and stuff, I'm not willing to share them. But this lender in particular, I am willing to share. I just would do it on a like one-on-one.
Like an intro one-on-one.
Yeah, like a one-on-one type of situation. I don't want to just throw his information out there because he's kind of like a cross between hard money and private. So he definitely has a funding company. So he is a bona fide hard money lender, but he does some private money and he does some other like creative financing. He'll partner with you with a project. He'll do different things. So I would rather do like a kind of warm handoff than to just throw his information out there and have y'all reaching out to him.
Gotcha.
His personality is a little, I don't know. I don't know.
Those numbers guys are different. Chuck Styles just jumped in the chat. Chuck, what's up with you? We was just repping your artwork. You see us, we both got you in the background, good brother.
And hung it back up. I was just showing off the Chuck Styles art pieces.
Yeah, I got all the Chuck back there. Question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share any business credit that has been helpful in your business?
So that is actually something that I'm very bad at, and it's a goal of mine to work on for 2022. When I got started in the game, I was riding heavy on the fact that I have a high personal credit score. So a lot of my funding came from the fact that I keep my credit score tight at all times. Like I will cut you over my credit score. Sidebar, which we're not going to have a long discussion about this, but sidebar is something to work on early in life. Like, I was young and stupid, college kid. Oh, here, take this credit card. We're going to give you a t-shirt. Tore up my credit probably twice in life. And now, at this stage in the game, I realize how important it is to have good credit. So because of my personal credit, I've been able to like get by with what I've done so far. But I also feel like my lack of the right business credit is stifling me. It's holding me back. So got some good tidbits from the Haitian CEO. Plan on, following through with some stuff, some information that I got from him, and basically trying to blow it up in 2022. Like, have definitely you and Zoe drop some gems, working on that as well. But so my business credit game is definitely subpar. Like, my business credit game is not the big.
But you have the LLC, right?
I have the LLC. So I thought, like, with business credit, I created the LLC. All my LLCs have some sort of debt or line of credit or something, thinking that I needed to grow my business credit score the same way I grew my personal credit score. You know what I'm saying? Using the same,
right.
Oh, you got long history, you got it. So I have all my cars are in, like, each business has a car that's in the business name. Little stuff like Quill, Granger, like little stuff that to grow business credit profiles, not realizing that
you had the whole time person
is the same as the personal credit game, and that's not the route that it needed to go.
Right. So, being that you have the personal credit,
yeah.
So I'm saying, just test it out. Put your feet in the water, just a little bit. Put the little pinky toe in there. Bryn Mawr Trust, apply for the 0% interest credit card. Just with your LLC, you don't need no bank account. Just apply for the business credit card, 0% interest with Bryn Mawr Trust. You literally can do that. That was a layup. And then where is the other one? You probably could do Bank of America. Bank of America is real easy.
I hate Bank of America. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I mean, I don't like them for banking, but for the credit, they're pretty lenient. For the business.
Wait, hold on. While you thinking about that, I see somebody in here. If I'm ready to go with money saved and ready to secure a hard money lender, what's the next step? McFly 82. McFly 82, do you have a project already lined up? Because if you have money and a lender, that is the steps right there. Like, the next step is to go. If you have money and a lender.
Right. Shoot your shot.
Exactly. Hey, Stephanie. Hey.
Stephanie said those credit cards are nice with Bank of America.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get through these comments.
Oh, he said he doesn't have a lender as of yet. Oh, so then you need to find a lender. So, trying to think. So I went to a lender, literally a hard money in private lender seminar today. So I'll share some of the ones that I met today. You have Rehab Financial Group. They lend in like 40 different states. So for those of you who are in Philly or not in Philly, you could check them out. Rehab Financial Group. Lima One is another one. Lima One. And both of them will do buy and hold or fix and flip.
Vizio, the big one with the buy and hold.
Who?
Vizio. They do interest only loans on your buy and hold, and they'll do the buy, the renovation, and then the hold. So Vizio, I'll send you the information. They think they only require like 30% equity in the whole situation. I'll check on it and I'll send you some more.
So Rehab Financial Group, Lima One, and Vizio. So I'm gonna look into Vizio. You know, again, the more lenders they have on deck, the better, because like I said, you never know what situation is gonna be what.
And Crowdcopia. Crowdcopia is the
I'm 50-50 with Crowdcopia.
with Crowdcopia. Mm.
So they're good. They're just tough to maneuver, in my opinion.
So okay. So that's why I'm saying with the lender that I've been using, he is not the cheapest in the game by far away, but for me, he's easy to work with.
Right.
Like he'll wire the money and then leave me alone. Like in terms of it's time for a draw, I'm not. He made me mad because he charges you for the draw. He charges you $100 for the draw.
That's
and
not.
Yeah, I'll be like, yo, I'm ready for the next draw payment. And he'll be like, man, take some pictures with your phone and send them to me. Bruh, why are you charging me $100 to text you some pictures off my phone? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you charging me for no reason, but at the same time, I'm not getting aggravated. I'm sending him a couple pictures and then I'm getting my money. So that's why I say he's not the move for everyone. There's pros and cons to every type of lending, but he's definitely my go-to for the time being anyway. Like,
Got you.
It's easy. Like what he lacks in terms of competitive rates, he what he lacks in terms of, I know, right, Stephanie? What he lacks in terms of competitive rates, he makes up for in terms of the ease of the transaction. Like he doesn't require a lot of documentation. Like legit, I just submitted a loan to him last week, and it's like a 2-page application. Like the basic information, the basic details of the transaction, and before I even submitted the application to him, this was for a client of mine. Before I even submitted the application to him, just on the strength of me asking him, he had her money set to the side. So
Right.
He been working my nerves because he's ready to fund her deal. Like he never met her, don't know anything about her. He just,
Wait for the paperwork.
yeah, we reached out to him like, yo, this is the details of the transaction. Are you interested? And he was like, yeah, cool. Let me know when y'all ready to close. Oh, we trying to close on Friday. And then, all right, I got the money ready for you. Just send over my paperwork.
Got you. Okay. Well, we definitely appreciate y'all participation and tuning in with us. Again, next week is a holiday, so we won't be on next week. However, the week after that, we're giving you 2 lives the week after that to make up for next week's holiday. In addition to that, December 4th, we have our home buyer event with the Good Neighbor Real Estate team, being able to help you get a 700 credit score in 60 to 90 days, as well as teach you how to purchase a house, whether it's your first house or your move-up house. And we'll also be taking some investment questions at the event. So hit the link in my bio, follow my story for the registration details. But December 4th, we will be doing an in-person event. And I'll share with you guys that Lorenzo is working on a pop-up ride-along before the year is out. So we're trying to fit it in between the holiday and the other holiday, Christmas. So if we can fit in one more ride-along, because Lorenzo, I think, is working on a couple more projects. I'm buying a new property tomorrow. Plus, I'm already working on 2 properties already. So we got a lot of houses that we could get y'all in so y'all can see the different phases. And then I need y'all to shoot me a couple prayers and some good energy, good luck. I'm literally been checking my email all day. My 6-unit offer for a 6-unit apartment building got accepted verbally, and I'm just waiting for the sellers to sign.
Yes, congratulations on that.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm shitting my pants. Like I'm nervous as a mug.
No, it's gonna be okay. Step out on faith. That's what I'm saying. Like step out on faith.
I don't have no choice at this point because I done already submitted the offer. And when I talked to the agent, like I was talking heavy to him because the sellers had pissed me off. So now he like, I trust you. You an agent. You gonna make it happen. I see you. You do your thing. I'm like, yeah. Hell no, I ain't got the money yet. So I need him to.
Money will come. Don't worry about that. The money will come. So get that offer accepted. The money will come.
Well, that's the goal. So that's why that's what made today so exciting. That's why I went to the it's in Philly, and I need to rehab it and kick some tenants out, Stephanie. But in regards to the event I went to today, that was why I went. Tracy sent me the information. Like, she just sent it to me, and I was like, man, it's perfect timing, not knowing that this was coming across my table. Like, I needed more funding sources so that I could take down this deal. So, when people talk about like, oh, you just, it's not easy. And even in the experience that you have, like, yo, I still get nervous, and it's like, I'm working on the duplex. I'm working on 2 single families, and to add this 6 units to it. Yo, when we go to Disney next year, I'm gonna deserve it. I'm gonna earn my Disney next year. I'm gonna be partying with Mickey. I'm gonna be drunk as a skunk.
Yes, because you can swipe your bracelet and get alcohol at Disney now. So you allowed to drink at Disney now. Like, oh, that's what's up. But yeah, everybody out there that's still paying attention, make sure y'all come out to at least one of these ride-alongs. So a lot of good information. That's what I'm saying. Like, people be passing up on good information, and those ride-alongs are, in various stages. You get to see, before the walls are closed up, because, you post pictures of a finished product, like, oh, no, let's see what's going on behind these walls. Like, that's where we make our money at, behind the walls. So
that's for us real rehabbers. I've been on the gram watching some of these reels and different stuff, and these dudes putting the sheetrock on top of the old sheetrock is really driving me up a wall.
Listen, Anthony, I would be lying to you if I said I never put sheetrock on top of sheetrock, because let me dead ass with you. The way that lumber prices are going right now.
Right. No,
if to buy a stud, I'm not going to. And I will, like, depending on the situation, I'm also going to try to skim them walls to not tear the sheetrock down at all. But, sometimes the walls are not skimmable. And depending on what it's going to look like, I will put some new sheetrock on top of sheetrock. I ain't even going to lie to you.
For real, like, yo, I done did it all. I ain't going to lie. Look, so we all been in some situations, but you know what I mean when these cats is, everybody in rehab would tell you got to rip something apart.
Right. And then it's when them walls get open, that's when you start finding all kinds of problems, all kinds of issues. That's where the issues come from. But
I don't even care about the issues at this point. I'd rather just rip the wall open, and if I start fresh, it ain't no issue. It's just so that's where I'll be a little more patient to buy right, to let me do that. And that's the other thing about my 6 unit is that it's not the ideal number that I wanted at to really go get busy. But the thing is, it's really not bad. Like, half the building's bad, the other half of the building's not bad.
Okay. All right, well, I look forward to seeing that. Looking forward to seeing you on one of my sites. Looking forward to, 2022.
40 years out, I'm coming to one of your sites because you just said you're working on something and you about to buy something else. You tried to slide that in there. You about to buy something else.
I am about to buy something else. Trying to get this other situation started. We might have like a little delay in getting started, but I'll let you know when it gets started. But I am about to buy something else. Got a little offer pending right now. Well, an offer is out. It's not accepted yet, but got a little offer out right now, trying to work on something else. Gotta stay busy.
For sure. Well, definitely, like I said, I'm definitely rooting for you. Definitely looking forward to connecting and building. We're going to help these people in 2022. For anybody that's looking to, get into the game and figure stuff out. So another tidbit is we're going to have 4 ride-alongs in 2022. We already got the schedule together for 2 investment blueprints, and then the real estate investment brunch. The brunch is going to be crazy. So that's set for June, probably in downtown Philly. I'm just waiting for confirmation. Like we were serious when we said, like, yo, we are going to build a family together and we are going to start turning up together. Like we going to do real estate, run it up, take care of our families, and then we just going to build love and energy with each other. So definitely. I
can't wait for those tickets to drop. I will be first in line to cop my tickets. Stop sending us out to Media PA. I was driving like a senior citizen trying to get out there. Like, I'm really going to fight Anthony.
That's because it was raining.
The rain was very disrespectful. The rain was very, very disrespectful. That's why I had to pull up on the sidewalk. Dude was like, "You leaving your car there?" Yes, I am. That's exactly where I'm leaving it. I'm not walking no further. Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to everything that you got lined up. You know, so service that you.
We get you to speak. So whether it's one of the big events or whether one of the personal events, we get you to speak. So
I'll let you
you
know.
already had got requests from the ride along when you was talking to the people in the kitchen. It was like, well, we want to talk to Korea. So so we definitely gonna work with you. So definitely, like I said, salute to you, Queen. Definitely appreciate you. For anybody that is not following Sharia, make sure you're following her. Very good people, super humble, and she's also out here making it happen with no excuses. So that's what it's all about. Again, looking forward to it. For y'all who need the hard money lenders, don't forget Vizio, Rehab Financial Group, Lima One. If you need hard money, whether it's Philadelphia, PA, whatever, those three people go state to state. So Lima One, Vizio, Rehab Financial Group. If you need business credit and you just starting out with this LLC, Bryn Mawr Trust, Bank of America.
What about Univest? No.
For the credit card, they can have that. That's fine. So if you do Bryn Mawr Trust and Univest, do them at the same time because they pull from the same credit people.
Mm-hmm.
So do those at the same time with your LLC, and then do Bank of America, or do like Herman said. Herman said get 3 devices and apply for all of them at the same time.
Right.
Same LLC, same time.
Shoot me a DM if you have any questions about my lender. Like I said, I don't want to throw his information out there. I'll kind of like pre-screen the request and do a warm handoff. If anybody's in need and the project is one that fits his criteria, I will happily, send the information over.
All right. Well, we definitely appreciate it. And then, like I said, don't forget the link in my bio. December 4th, we got the home buyer event / move up house event. December 4th, link in my bio. And then I think that was everything. So again, happy holidays, y'all. Salute to y'all. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us all year. Vern, hit me up. Send me a DM so I can lock your number in, Vern. I see your message. But yeah, I appreciate y'all rocking with us all year. I know it's been kind of crazy between pandemic, social issues, presidency, all that stuff has been crazy. But look, we still standing and we still here. So that's how y'all know we got greatness right around the corner in 2022. So just stay focused. And as Tracy would say, get your tribe. Join the Investment Blueprint tribe. We got you.
Definitely join. Investment Blueprint will change your life. Property. You need that one property to change your life. That one property. Yes.
Right.
Thank you for me, Ailey. I appreciate, chatting with you.
Nah, thank you. I'm going to get this saved, and we're going to send this to the YouTube page as well. So whether y'all want to watch it on IG, it'll also be on my YouTube page where all the interviews go once they're done. So thank you again, Sharia. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys are following Sharia. And I'll check with y'all tomorrow. I'm going to be dropping a lot of highlights tomorrow when I go to settlement, and I check on some of these houses and projects. And then I got to get my rest because I'm running the marathon on Saturday. That's my last marathon here.
Okay.
I'm on my Will Smith. I'm trying my journey to get rid of my dad bod. My journey to get rid of my dad.
I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, y'all. Have a good one.